Hello, this is my presentation analyzing Vogue magazine. To start us off, you asked us to identify characteristics. Hello, this is my presentation analyzing Vogue magazine. To start us off, you asked us to identify characteristics used in advertisements to target the audience. Vogue uses many high-end brands in their ads that target young, wealthy women. The products being advertised are usually fashion, jewelry, and cosmetics, which are typically not bought by the middle and lower class in high-end names. The advertisements captivate young, beautiful women with slim body types to popularize the promoted products that show beauty and wealth. And in the ads, you can see here that I included some of the high-end name brands like Gucci and Versace. You asked us to outline messages about social groups alongside the products being said. So here, I took screenshots of the Vogue setup of the online and a little spread page on makeup. And you can see within the makeup section that they have the stereotype of perfect because they don't have acne and they have lots of makeup on that capture that idea, along with celebrities. And then I chose to say that the message that is created by the magazine is that their target audience of young, wealthy women maintain their beauty standards by following the latest trends and celebrities. The category of celebrity beauty, which you can see at the top image, indicates a clear outline that these women want celebrity-used products reflecting wealth. This divides the social classes because the lower and middle class likely do not have access to these or all of the products. And what really captures these people is at the top you see celebrity beauty, hair, makeup, nails, wellness, and skin, because they want to take care of themselves and maintain that beauty standard. Next, you asked us to identify 5 social concepts, and the 5 I came up with were impression management, everyday class consciousness, and intersectionality, dramaturgy, and symbolic interactionalism. First, starting with impression management, I pulled a quote from our textbook which says, "We say and do what we think is necessary to communicate who we are and what we think, and we refrain from saying and doing things that might damage the impression we want others to have of us," which describes impression management. And I applied this to Vogue because they use models with a specific image to them to create the vibe that targets the audience. Vogue wants to refrain from doing things that could pull away from their target audience completely. For example, they have always targeted young wealthy women, and if they started jumping to other groups, they would lose the impression and audience they worked on for years. By maintaining this specific image, it creates the beauty standards we have today. For our next sociological concept, I said everyday class consciousness. The quote I pulled from here, from our textbook, says, "This means that our clothing, our speech, our gestures, the car we drive, the homes we live in, the people we hang out with, and the things we do on vacation are all part of our presentation of self and provide information that others use to make judgments about our socioeconomic status." And then I said that with Vogue's specific image, it leads us to make the judgment that the fashion is in the high socioeconomic status. It can be differentiated because in the ads, brands like Gucci and Versace can be used to discover the everyday class consciousness of Vogue, which is the wealthy status. The next social concept I had put is intersectionality. It says a concept that identifies how different categories of inequality, race, class, gender, etc., intersect to shape the lives of individuals and groups. So I applied that definition by saying the body images of Vogue are primarily slim. What we do not see is the inequality for plus-sized women. For so long, models have always needed to fit the standard, outcasting those with different body images. This affects them because Vogue's idea of beauty is with a slim body. This affects all media because it leaves an unhealthy and unrealistic idea of what all female bodies should look like when that should not be the case. And then the next one I put was dramaturgy, because I thought that it is portrayed by bringing together women and putting on these roles to dress and look the part of their portrayed image. Most of the women are not actually all from the upper class, because in Vogue, we see that they all want the high-end products and they all want to target wealthy women, so they have to act like they're wealthy women in the ads. The last sociological concept I have is symbolic interactionalism. Symbolic interactionalism helps us explain both our individual personalities and the ways in which we are all linked together. That's from the textbook, and I applied that by saying symbolic interactionalism applies to Vogue because it updates the media on the newest fashion trends that many will follow, linking us all together. Because many of the younger adults now all want to follow the fashion trends within our society. And then these are my references, and thank you for listening to my presentation.